y pues ya ves, lo noqueé yo y Santa Cruz no pudo.
Well, he says the fight says it all. You know, Santa Cruz went 12 rounds with him. He did it in 5, and he says that speaks for itself.
El que tiene título es uno de China. ¿Tú serías apuesto a volar hasta China a pelearlo para el título?
La verdad me estaría adelantando, pero claro que me gustaría disputar el título absoluto, pero ya serían cuestiones de la empresa y mi promotor, pero con mucho gusto donde sea y vamos a seguir trabajando para coronarnos campeones del mundo, primero Dios.
He said he doesn't want to get too far ahead of himself, but he says whatever the promotion and his manager want to do, all he wants to do is become a world champion, and he's ready anywhere, anytime.
Okay. Sí, claro.
De tu estilo, eres zurdo, te gusta, sabes cómo moverte en el ring, pero también te gusta ir adelante. ¿Le puedes explicar un poquito más de tu estilo?
Primero que nada, pues interrumpiendo un poco, quiero mandar un saludo a la gente de Tucson, Arizona. Ahí estuvimos en un campamento alrededor de un mes, muy agradecidos con ellos, nos dieron el apoyo, nos atendieron incondicionalmente y aquí están los resultados. Como lo comentas, pues gracias a Dios me dio mis habilidades y yo trabajo, le echo muchas ganas para desarrollarlas y hacerlas perfectamente. Y arriba del ring me siento cómodo, puedo boxear, puedo ir al frente como todo mexicano, pero sí, siempre teniendo presente las circunstancias de cada pelea.
He says, sorry for the interruption, but first he wants to thank people from Tucson, and they treated him very well for the preparation for this fight. As for his style, he says he likes to do it all. He can move around, but he really likes to go in there and fight. And really, it's all this is he's learning more and more by just training and being in the gym. And like he said, he feels that he can do it all in the ring.
Para ti, ¿qué piensas de la próxima pelea?
El título del mundo.
¿Quieres título?
Sí, quiero el título del mundo.
He says he wants the title.
¿Te importa quién es? ¿Quieres uno al otro o nada más quieres el título?
Lo que sea.
He says whoever it is, he just wants to be a champion.
En tu opinión, es tu
con todo respeto para los campeones actuales, pero quiero competir y quiero ser campeón del mundo.
So he said, with all respect to every champion on the business, but he wants to fight for any title.
¿Esta pelea es tu mejor knockout de tu carrera?
Creo que he tenido ciertos knockouts. De mis últimas 4 peleas, 3 han sido por knockout y pues ahí van, pero creo que sí está un poco más que todas las otras también.
Yeah, he's knocked out 3 of his last 4 opponents, but yeah, this was definitely up there. This is one of his best ones, absolutely.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Una más.
All right, Carlos Toro, if you'd like to unmute yourself, you can ask your question.
Okay, I couldn't hear his question.
Yep. Carlos, you'll need to unmute your mic if it's muted.
Right now. I'll call you back. I'm with Zurdo. Sorry.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, congratulations on the victory. Was there any point earlier in the fight where you kind of thought that this was going to be how the fight was going to end? Did you see something in the first couple of rounds that you thought that you could take advantage and knock him out with that right hook?
Primero que nada, dice felicidades en la ganada. Dice en los primeros rounds, ¿tú miraste algo en él que pensaste que lo puedes noquear en la manera que lo hiciste? ¿Algo de lo que él hizo?
Pues por ahí resaltando, creo que siempre llevé el control de la pelea, a pesar de que por ahí en el tercer round bajé un poquito la intensidad, pero en el segundo, si no me equivoco, lo golpeé y lo puse mal. Traté de liquidarlo, pero no lo logré, pero seguí trabajando, moviéndome para no vaciarme y sabía que tarde o temprano, al igual llegaba a mi esquina y me decían que era cuestión de tiempo y gracias a Dios se encontró con un gancho de derecha y ahí están los resultados.
He says he always felt like he was in control of the fight, He said in the third round he dropped a little bit of the intensity, but his corner throughout the whole fight told him just keep putting the pressure on him, and you're gonna get him out of there. And sure enough, he came.
One last question. Do you think that a win like this with a sensational knockout like that, do you think you're more likely to get those title fights that you want, or less likely because you think maybe some of the champions might be a little more afraid of you with the kind of power that you demonstrated today?
Como una ganada tan espectacular, ¿tú crees que lo hace más fácil para ganar las peleas por el título? ¿Tú crees que lo hace más difícil porque los oponentes van a tener miedo?
La verdad, creo que lo hace un poco más fácil en mi pensar, porque últimamente pues no se ha podido dar esa oportunidad, pero creo que hay dignos campeones en las 126 libras y no dudo que va a llegar un reto luego.
No, he feels, in his opinion, it's make it easier. He says there's a lot of good champions at 126 that aren't afraid of a fight, and so he believes he'll be able to fight one of them. Absolutely, one of them will step up.
All right, great. Thank you, Eduardo. Enjoy your night.
Muchas gracias a todos y muy agradecido con la empresa por tomarme en cuenta, y voy a seguir trabajando para dar lo mejor de mí y brindarles un buen espectáculo.
He wants to thank everybody for the way he's been treated all week. It's been a great promotion. He's going to keep working hard and put on great performances.
No lo he podido poner, Eduardo. Espera. Okay.
Standpoint, that's why I actually moved out of downtown, got a ranch, and got horses and different cattle and things like that, and got a pool, and I'm outside with my kids, enjoying the time with my kids and my family. Just had a newborn son and a girlfriend, and just enjoying life more, and the people that care about me more than just all the outside influences that and what you'll call distractions.
Danny, you've been calling out Errol Spence for over 2 years now. Now that we are just 3 days away until you have that opportunity to go ahead and become the first blemish on Errol Spence's dossier, what's going through your mind?
Hey, hold on. We got to start with the cat, because nobody called me out for 2 years. Ain't nobody in boxing been calling me out for 2 years. He did call me out. That was a year ago, but nobody been calling me out for 2 years.
Yeah, I never been a fighter to chase fighters anyway, because I feel like I'm the fighter, but I definitely did call him out a year ago, well, a little less than a year ago. And the fight was supposed to happen in January. It didn't happen. But, like I said, boxing is a sport of timing, and the time is now. I feel great. Had a tremendous camp. I did everything I was supposed to do. Now it's just time to go out there on Saturday night and do what I do best and win.
Errol, you could have easily, in your comeback fight, taken a tune-up. Instead, you wanted Danny Garcia. Why so?
Well, we already had the prior agreement that I was going to fight Danny Garcia. Nobody forced me to fight Danny Garcia. I could have took a tune-up, but, I wanted somebody dangerous who's going to, keep me focused and, keep me in the gym and training hard. And I had to make sure I was going to be 100% on point. If I'd have took a tune-up fight or, somebody that I was supposed to beat, I feel like, that 100%, fire wouldn't have all the way been there. Of course, I would want the victory and I wanted to win, but, fighting somebody with a great name like Danny Garcia and a great fighter like Danny Garcia, it just pushed me to another level and pushed me to the level that I'm supposed to be at.
Danny, you're the underdog coming into this fight. Does that anger you? Does that upset you? Or is it something that you pay no mind to?
I don't pay no mind to that. I've been the underdog in many fights. I just prepare myself. I worry about Danny Garcia, training hard. I don't worry about the critics, the media, what they say about me. I know that I'm a great champion. I'm a great fighter, and that's why I'm here today. And that's what I'm going to prove Saturday night, that I'm a great champion.
Well, speaking of champion, you haven't been a welterweight champion for a few years. How much do you crave once again putting gold around your waist? You have that opportunity on Saturday night.
Oh, it's a very great opportunity. You know, there's no feeling in the world like winning. And winning a world title is the best feeling in the world. You know, you can't take that for granted. I took it for granted a few times, and, you know, it got the best of me. But you know what? In this world, you learn off your mistakes. You become a better person. You become a better man. And that's why I'm here today.
And Errol, when it comes to your training, your trainer, Derek James, has told me on numerous occasions that you are hitting harder than what you ever have over the course of your professional career. Why is that so?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know about hitting harder, but I do feel like, you know, I'm sharper than, you know, I ever was. And, you know, I'm making weight easier than I ever did before. And I just feel like, you know, the focus is there. And the focus is there, like, you know, when I started my professional career, to get to this level. So, you know, I just feel like I got a renewed focus, and, you know, everything's clicking, and basically I'm eating, sleeping, and pooping. Boxing.
Errol, this is your third straight fight on PBC Fox Sports pay-per-view. What does it mean for you to be headlining a card of this magnitude?
It means everything. Like I said at the beginning of my career, I used to say all the time on social media, you know, tables turn. You know, a lot of these guys didn't want to let me in. Well, you know, I'm finally in, and, you know, fighting it on Fox pay-per-view, I feel like that's just the upper echelon. That's where the top fighters are fighting. And for me to get this opportunity over and over, I mean, it's great for me. It's great for my career, and I love it. So I just got to continue to do what I've been doing, and that's winning.
Danny, you fought on big cards before, but this is the first time that you are headlining on pay-per-view. Does it feel any different? Is there any extra added specialness to this opportunity?
Yeah, we definitely know what's at stake. You know, we work hard every day in the gym. We push ourselves to the limit. We know this is the biggest stage, but I've been here before many times. You know, I've been headlining fights for 8 years straight, you know, at a championship level. So, you know, the only thing that's different is just the pay-per-view. People just got to buy it. But I've always been a top-level fighter, always been fighting at this stage, and I'm just, you know, taking it like another fight.
We'll go to your father, your trainer, Angel Garcia. Angel, yesterday you told me on PBC Instagram Live, when I asked you about a prediction, you proclaimed to me a 7th-round stoppage for my son, Danny Garcia. Why do you feel that will be the case on Saturday night?
Well, because we had a great camp. It's all we left it in the gym. Everything is done. The job is done, man. We're here. What am I supposed to say? You know what I'm saying? I got to cheer for Danny Garcia. I mean, he's going to go out there and show the world. True champions made of. And we've been on pay-per-view before. On the Floyd undercard. It wasn't our card, but it was our own press conference, our own everything. With Matisse. So it's not the first time pay-per-view. You know, to the people it is. To us, it wasn't. Danny been here before. He done it. He done it before. He going to do it again. You know what I'm saying? Danny just don't know how to win. He know how to kick your ass.
So, Angel, does it anger you? Do you feel like Danny doesn't get the respect that he deserves as you see that Danny is the underdog heading into this pay-per-view showdown?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what the people think. At the end of the day, half of the people that write that shit, they never been punched in the tip of the nose. It's just people behind desks, man, making all these calls. Get in the ring. Well, then, why don't they try it? Get in the ring with Danny. I don't want to do it. Shit, once in a while, he slips and punches me. I feel it in my fat toe. You know what I'm saying? It's easy with the mouth. I could take your money with my mouth. Would I take it, though? It's a different page. Life is, hey, listen, man, life is crazy like this. That's why we're living through this epidemic right now. Because you know what? People fear the most in America is death. And that's guaranteed.
Now we'll
You know
go
what I'm
to
saying?
we'll go to Derek James.
The Birdman's here, brother. The Birdman.
The Birdman is in the house.
right,
So
the
says
Birdman in
Angel
Texas, baby,
Garcia.
taking over.
Now we'll go to
We coming at this.
Derek James, the esteemed trainer of Errol Spence Jr. Derek, when you hear Angel Garcia say he's predicting a 7th round stoppage, obviously he believes in his son and he's behind him 120%. They believe they're going to win. But the specific prediction about a 7th round stoppage, what is your response to that?
Well, I want to say, first of all, is that the respect that they say he doesn't get, I give it to him because I've seen what he's done throughout his career. Secondly, I mean, I don't know about the knockout and all that. I don't make predictions for myself or my guy. And he's supposed to believe in himself. He's supposed to believe in what he thinks his son is going to do. Why wouldn't he? And at the same time, we feel the exact same way. I don't go in there and say we're going to get a knockout because I can't predict any of that, but I can predict that at the end we will be victors. We will win the fight or whatever. But I think that, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to believe in himself. You can't make it to this level and perform on this level consistently and not believe in yourself. So I think that without a doubt that, it's what it is. We don't have to talk, though. I mean, my guy's quiet. I'm quiet. We just, you believe in yourself, you don't have to talk about it. So that's how I feel about it.
Well, Errol has proclaimed that he's in, and I saw him, he looks in impeccable shape. We were down in training camp with both guys. But how has this camp been different? Because I almost feel, and I see in Errol, a different look, a more focus in his eyes. The demeanor is more calculated. Do you feel the same way out of the 2012 Olympian and the current unified welterweight champion in the world?
Well, I feel that way exactly. I think at the same time, it's like the level of respect that he talk about that he doesn't get from other people. We give him that respect, and that respect makes us come in harder. That respect makes us train harder. That respect makes him focus even more. But at the same time, he is this guy. He's focused on his task. He's focused on constantly proving that he is the best welterweight in the world. So that's really where the focus comes from. So you see, basically, what I would say, like the eye of the tiger, is because you see him on his grind, constantly working out nonstop, and you see the fire in his eyes. And that's what it really is. So it's not so much about all the other things. It's about his focus. It's about his respect for himself, respect for Danny Garcia in the game, and how, respect makes you beat people. Respect keeps you honest. And that's what you see is honesty.
Danny, your father told me that he anticipates there'll be moments in the fight where it will be a toe-to-toe battle. How have you gotten yourself prepared mentally and physically for those kind of exchanges on Saturday night against Errol Spence Jr.?
Working in the gym, working on all kinds of stuff, working on boxing, working on banging it out, working on moving, walking them down. So, we worked on everything. So at this level, you got to be able to do everything. You just can't go in there thinking you're going to slug it out and it'll be a whole different story. So we definitely prepared for a lot of things. That's why we had different sparring partners. We had guys who come at us. We had young guys who move, all types of styles. So we'd be prepared for Saturday night.
Errol, for you, what are you hoping to prove on Saturday night against Danny Garcia on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view?
I mean, the only thing I'm going to prove that, I'm still the same. And I'm a realist. I'm realistic. I know people, have a lot of questions. Am I still the same? Am I shelling myself? And if I would have looked at the accident and somebody would have had, I would have said the same thing too. And I would have had questions too. So, that's basically, the questions that need to be answered. And I feel like that wouldn't have been answered if I would have fought, a lighter competition. So I feel like, a lot of stuff will be answered come December 5th that people that haven't been in the gym need to see. So, I just expect for myself to be 100% on point, sharp, and, just accurate with my shots.
Danny, what do you want to tell Errol Spence as we are just 3 days away until your welterweight showdown? And also, in a perfect world, how does this fight end?
There's not really much to say. All the hard work is done. You can say what you want to say. I know I'm here in Texas and I'm ready. you know, for the fight of my life. I'm ready for whatever. And come Saturday night, I will be victorious.
Errol, in a perfect world, how does the fight end on Saturday night?
Well, the fight ended by me winning, and life taught me that this world is not perfect, so so ain't nothing gonna be perfect, but I'm definitely gonna get the win and the victory.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We greatly appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday night.
Thank you.
Now, Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia will have the ceremonial stare down. And Joe, my goodness, what an press conference here in Dallas. Both men seem focused, determined, and they are locked in.
Yeah, they both look great.
What's up, Birdman?
What's up, Danny? What's up, Angel?
How was the press conference?
It was good. I mean, different.
Why?
Too quiet. Meet the fan, making noises. That's what hypes you up.
There'll be fans at the venue.
Can we take this shit?
Well, yeah, I guess. We're 6 feet away.
You want to take that off? No.
Okay.
I'll keep it on my chance. Yeah, I mean,
Would they,
never.
would they, ever since, a couple fights, Angel, right? They try to tell you to keep it calm, but forget that, man. People love it when you...
Yeah, but that's what sells. The fans pay money to...
Right.
You gotta, it's a business at the end of the day. It's an entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta hype it up. I mean, you don't gotta say nothing bad. You know, but hey, listen, I don't gotta love you. It's a business at the end of the day. Anybody can go up there and just talk humble. You gotta talk what you feel. You can't be fake. You gotta be real. It's gotta be you. You natural, just be you.
Danny, you know, you've been one of the most accomplished fighters in the sport the last 10 years, last decade. What are people getting wrong? What are they overlooking about you, bookies, anybody that's overlooking you in this fight?
You know, I don't know. I can't worry about that, to be honest. All I can worry about is what I do. And that's hard work and belief.
You know,
that's the only thing I can worry about.
You know, a lot's been made about your counterpunching and those things. Do you think you have more skills than Errol Spence?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? I've been at this level longer than him. So in order to be at this level for a while, you gotta have the skill level and the hard work. And that's something I always did.
Are you looking to test him earlier than maybe, you know, usually you like to take your time and figure things out, but are you going to try and press him early to see if his punch resistance isn't the same after that accident? Or
you got to see come December 5th. You got to see.
Is that part of the game plan at all too, Angel?
Listen, man, we're going after him. Danny gonna knock him out, man. I respect the man as a fighter, don't get me wrong. I don't disrespect his you know, as a fighter, as a champion. He is a champion. I can see it, man.
What do you feel is being overlooked about Danny?
He's not there all the way mentally. It's a mental thing. There's a mental thing, spiritual thing, and a physical. He's not there. You could try to lie for him and cover him up. But I can see it, man.
Wouldn't it mean...
I can read his soul, man. He's not a bad person. I just read that spirit in him. I can see it.
Doesn't it say something, though, that he jumped right into the fire again against a fighter like Danny?
Maybe he got people, medical people say he's clear.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't, I mean, to me, honestly, all doctors ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been through shit. The doctors almost killed me in the operating room.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've seen family members of mine that have been killed by medical mispractice. So doctors ain't perfect all the time.
Danny, you know, he's known for that jab, very active with it, long arms. How do you cut the distance from that jab?
You know, we gotta use good footwork, head movement, and good jab, a great jab, another great jab beats a great jab. So I gotta use my jab. Gotta use my jab.
Yeah, take it.
You know, you mentioned like in the Porter fight, you were very accurate, it was like 35%. But he threw 300 more punches, and it looks like the judges, they love that activity. Spence, he throws about the same as Porter, 700 punches.
Yeah.
What do you do to offset that for Saturday
night? I gotta go there and fight my fight. Let my hands go a little more and just be smart, be a little more dominant.
Yeah,
that's it.
We know what we did wrong in the Porter. We learned off of that.
Mm-hmm.
We took it and we learned off of it. We're not doing it again.
And you're still in your prime, unlike guys who may learn from a loss, but by the time they learn, they're too old to take advantage of it, right?
I feel great. I feel great physically.
You know, coming up when you knocked out Khan and beat Matisse, you were that young, hungry Philly Rican with the leopard print pants.
Yeah.
Is that hunger all the way back to that?
Yeah, for sure. In order to fight at this level, you gotta be hungry. Or you gotta have something to prove or some type of motivation, and that's why I'm here.
I asked too, because you talked about it up there that you kind of took being for champ granted, and it looked like you never stopped working hard or cutting corners. Yeah. But was that hunger the same way it was with those leopard prints and being?
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. The hunger will always be there. Like I said before, if I feel like I don't want it, then I shouldn't do it.
Listen, man, Danny been loyal to the sport, man. He's 100% athlete fighter, man. He's not a part-timer. He don't smoke hookah. He don't drink alcohol. He don't drink and drive. He don't do none of that shit. He's loyal to the sport, man. That's what people don't see. He's loyal. He's a good athlete as a fighter. Let's say if I wanted to be a fighter, I would look up to somebody like Danny Garcia, because they motivate me to be like him.
Do you feel like that? Huh? He's always been hungry, but do you feel like when he was young, that extra bit is here for that fight?
It's cool, because he always been like that. We always been like, well, listen, when he was a kid, he was winning, they thought he was winning. He won the Golden Glove, they say, that's nothing yet. He won the USA Championship, they say, that's nothing yet. He became the Olympic alternate, they say, oh, that's nothing yet. He became world champion, they say, that's nothing yet. So what they want him to do, kill somebody in the ring? You know what I mean?
No, that's the last thing we want.
No, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
I'm just talking over it.
But do you think...
Just having fun, you know what I mean?
You guys think the power will be something different from Brook and Porter?
What do you mean?
From what your left hook, the power you bring?
My power? Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I'm definitely a harder hitter than both of those guys. For sure, 100%.
We know what we did wrong in them fights.
No, you're talking about in my heart.
I know, but I'm saying I know what we did wrong.
Could you share it all? What you felt you did wrong? That'll pay dividends?
We just had to pick it up more.
Pick more punches per round?
That's the only thing. I mean, we landed more clean shot by the the scorecards and all that, but I guess they weren't looking at that. Mm-hmm. But Danny landed, what was it, 50% more? So that's what you score boxing like that. Mm-hmm. Ain't it? It's about landing. It's not about running around and being all crazy. It's about landing with these two. Mm-hmm. So we listen, we're not going to repeat history, man.
That's the name of the game Saturday night.
Exactly. We ain't repeating history, buddy. Listen, we coming out here, we're not coming out here to look good. We coming out here to win. And how you win, he's got to do it. He's got to go out there with these two right here that God gave him. These two hands right here that God gave him, and use them. And be there, look, mentally and spiritually. He's there already.
And lastly, guys, too, I get it. Champ, talk's over. It's time to fight Saturday. What do you think, though, when Errol says, I'm gonna beat him worse than anyone ever beat him, more convincingly, more one-sided than anybody, motivate you? Does it do anything in your mind heading into Saturday night? Anything you have to say?
I heard that before.
Yeah, we heard it a lot of times, man. Matisse was supposed to kill Danny.
We'll see.
Yeah, we heard that a lot of times. It's a different page when you're in there. You can say with this one, it's proving it. I know what he can do.
And Angel, too, lastly, I remember your father always said, I love my son, I'll never let him be an opponent. Does Danny have to win this fight to avoid that, avoid being the opponent?
It doesn't matter. He know what he got to do. Danny got to go out there and take it. There's nothing going to be given to him. And they ain't just going to hand him the shit. He's got to go out there and get it. Saturday night, December 5th. It's going down in history book.
Thanks so much, guys. Can't wait for this fight. 7th round knockout is the prediction.
That's what I got. Danny better get the job done. I predicted Khan too, the 4th round. And I predicted he was going to expose Matisse, and he did. Mm-hmm.
Your dad says it, and then you back it up, right, Danny?
That's how we've been doing our whole career.
Good luck. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, bro.
All right, FightHype.com, Sean Zattel here with the kingpin of the welterweight division, here to get the truth from the truth. Undefeated champ, Errol Spence. Errol, man, first of all, it's good to see you here and healthy, man. Yeah, definitely good to see you. You spoke on First Take this morning with Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Said, my job, what I'm looking to do is beat Garcia more convincingly than, Porter or Thurman did and make it one-sided. I know you can't give away a game plan, but could you preview to us why you think you will make that happen Saturday night?
For me, I just feel like I'm just the best fighter all around. Doesn't matter. They talk about speed, power, blocking, catching, angles, whatever. I feel like I do everything better than him, and I feel like that's why I'm gonna come out on top.
It's interesting. You've been undefeated, unified, and yet you still said you were cutting corners in boxing, not eat, sleeping, breathing, and pooping it. When did that start showing up, you think, and what performance?
Probably maybe after my piece to fight a little bit, because the longer the layouts was, the longer that I just took out outside the gym. I think for the Kell Brook fight, it was 9 months, but I stayed in the gym because, that was my first world title, and I was going overseas, so I was like, it's a lot of the unknown always, get somebody focused, so there's a lot of stuff I didn't know. So I was training to my best ability for that. And that was like my extension to, making some real money. So, I think, after that, after like the Lamont thing, I basically, I never started out like work ethic. Like my work ethic always been on point, always worked hard, stayed. But it's just like other stuff like being outside the gym and, and when you're not in the gym, and I'm not coming to the gym sometimes just to work out, or I'm not running sometimes, or I'm not doing something, I'm just turning into a couch potato and stuff like that, playing a video game and eating ice cream and cake late at night and things like that, and just blowing up in weight. And then once Can't come around, I'm trying to lose it and kill myself to lose the weight. So it's just stuff like that.
Yeah, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Errol, but I almost saw it. You won the Porter fight, got the knockdown, won the fight, but I was like, his legs, he don't look as strong as he did in the Kell Brook fight.
Yeah.
Is that sound right? Or
yeah, that sounds a little bit right. Like, just, wasn't, as sturdy and just,
that tank.
Yeah, strong as the Kell Brook fight. My punches wasn't as stiff.
Or like you said, bulldozing.
Yeah, so it was like just stuff like that. I was just basically in training camp trying to make weight instead of in training camp. Practice on a game plan and really kind of hone my skills and sharpening my tools.
Mm-hmm. So with Danny, very more accurate than Sean Porter. But he doesn't throw the amount of jabs Kell Brook and Sean Porter throw. You have a great jab. Do you think you could dictate things a lot with that jab, be dominant with the jab? How big a role will the jab play for you, Errol?
The jab play a very big role. I think, I try to get to play in all my fights, and that's what, I try to dictate, what I'm going to do on. So, I feel like the jab landed, a lot of other stuff landed too. So, I just feel like once I get my jab on point, a lot of stuff was just going to click like that. I was going to, working them over. So, I'm really excited about getting the ring. This something that, I've been dreaming about and been working towards, since my accident and, finally to that point, So I'm very excited, man. It's going to be, memorable for me, especially. I think it'll be memorable for a lot of fans and things like that too. My first fight back, and for me, I'm looking at it, excited, one-sided fight. So we'll see.
How do you offset a guy's counterpuncher? That's like the thing a lot of people feel is one of his best strengths.
For me, I think going pump fakes and and angles and things like that. To making them fight too. I would say somebody, especially hitting hard enough. So. For me, it's just, just being on point, doing everything, having defense and, blocking shots and bringing my hands back. I feel like when you throw a punch, you bring your hands back, it's easy for you to catch the punch. So for me, it's just, working everything and just making sure everything is on point.
Like just hearing you talk about that, would you say you're one of the most maybe the most fundamentally sound fighter in the game?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think probably the most fundamentally sound fighter in the game. I don't know. I like Tony Harrison. I think Tony Harrison is real fundamentally sound.
Triple G?
Julian Williams is real fundamentally sound. Triple G is real fundamentally sound. Canelo is real fundamentally sound. So, I think, I'm right there, with everybody. I'm fundamentally, sound.
Yeah, because for what it's worth, I would always tell a kid, if you want to learn the fundamentals, you watch an Errol Spence or a Winky Wright, or it's like that's who you watch if you want to. But you know, Danny, he didn't throw. He hasn't thrown as many punches since moving up in weight. Him and his dad, they said, we learned from that. We're gonna throw more punches this fight. How do you think that affects the fight? What do you think of that, Errol?
Well, we'll see. I think him throwing more punches, being more open. So, I mean, we'll definitely see how that works out for him.
He's never been dropped. He's never been stopped.
Never been dropped to South either. So, hello fight.
So you don't think it goes the distance? I mean, neither guy's been stopped or dropped before, but you don't think it goes the distance?
It could go the distance, or it could be a stoppage. I mean, we definitely got to see. Either or for me is fine with me. Go the distance or I stop him. I think a stoppage is much sweeter, but if I can get, just a victory, then we'll do it. We'll go for that too.
Where do you think he would rank on your resume?
Probably have to Kell Brook number 2, just because I fought Kell Brook in his hometown, and that was my first title fight, and fighting a guy overseas, starting overseas and beat him in my first world title fight. I think, he'd probably be number 2 just because after it's a fight after my accident.
And lastly, Errol, I know it's only about this fight. Not going to ask about a fight with Terrence, but why do you think it is that this is your 3rd straight fight on pay-per-view? Neither one of you guys are, big talkers. So why is it that you're having pay-per-view success without being a big talker? Or, is it the opposition, or is it?
I think people just like my style. I think, people just like my style and like my demeanor, and just like, saying that, just a real person. I talk to anybody, and, I'm a regular guy, when I take out the gloves and things like that, I'm just a regular dude.
I think people like you're a savage in a very calm way. Like, you'll say something very matter of fact. But yeah, if you have anything like that to say, otherwise, have a good fight, Errol. Anything else you want to say to boxing fans?
No, everybody just tune in on Fox pay-per-view. And if you can't tune in, and if you're in Dallas and come to the fight, please come to the fight. It's going to be an amazing fight. I'm putting on an amazing performance, and I can't wait to get there Saturday night.
And actually, Errol, one last one. Will it even take for you to get hit in this fight to know exactly how your chin will hold up after that? Or do you already know?
Yeah, I already know. I've been hitting sparring a lot of times. So now I'm good.
Thanks so much, Errol.
No problem.
Fight night, Fox pay-per-view, Saturday night here, Cowboy Stadium. Can't wait.
146.5 pounds, 146.5 pounds for the defending champion. We have a fight for the WBC and IBF welterweight championship of the world.
Danny, what did you take away from that final stare down with Errol Spence Jr.?
It's time to go. The weight is done, the hard work is done, now it's time to fight. It's time to eat and fight.
How's it going down tomorrow night on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view against Errol Spence Jr.?
I'm bringing my A game. I'm hungry, I feel great physically, mentally, and now it's time to go.
Good luck tomorrow, Danny.
Thank you.
Danny Swift Garcia joining us.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view main event of the evening. The Truth, Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Swift Garcia for the unified WBC and IBF welterweight championship of the world. 146.5 pounds, 146.5 pounds for the defending champion. We have a fight for the WBC and IBF welterweight championship of the world.
The new father, congratulations, Errol, on your newborn. I know that is, that's wonderful to see. But you're coming off of that layoff, Errol. Are you concerned at all about ring rust? And you mentioned that you wanted to fight. You did not want a tuna fight coming out in your next fight. I mean, you're coming off of that car accident. You're the 14-month layoff, but you just seem to want any and all challengers. Why Danny Garcia?
Like I said, I picked Danny Garcia just so I can rise up to the occasion. I feel like, he was a great fighter, and I still in my favor off a car crash. And I'm still, the top dog in the division, the top guy in the division. So, I feel like I would show that I'm just a great fighter, and he's a great opponent. His dad gets me hype, just him saying how they're gonna dictate the pace and how you gonna, come forward and throw punches and this and that and come take the belt from me in my hometown. Every time I fight in my hometown, I either got a knockout or just shutout win. So I'm 100% ready for anything they bring to the table. With come forward, with the box, with just stand there and fight. We can do whatever they need to do, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna listen to my coach dictate the pace. And I'm not going to get into the little heads game like with Sean Porter and things like that. Because I fought Sean Porter game and I beat him at his own game. I'm sure his dad want me to, stand there and slug with Danny Garcia. He got a rock jaw chin. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to win the fight.
I want to go with Derek because we're having some mic issues. But Derek, with you, in terms of, you told me that Errol is hitting harder now than he ever has been. What do you feel is the key to success in that regard?
I think that it's about just setting up what you want to set up. It's not easy. Then very
Derek, I'm sorry, it's Kelly. Your microphone is not working. It's hard to hear you. We're going to have to just try to fix it on the ground there. If the camera people could fix it on the ground, and we'll hold questions for Derek, please. I'm sorry.
Did you take out one of the AirPods?
We can hear Errol fine.
Put the other one back in, I think. That was the other one?
We can hear you too, camera lady. So if you
Yeah,
can,
it has to be his.
Tell her to get off. Her sound is fine. We're recording this, please. So let's
go ahead and open it up to questions. Kelly, I believe we want to open it up for questions for the media as we get that rectified, but let's open it up for questions, if that's okay with you guys from the media, as we will go ahead and have the media ask questions. By all means, make sure that you are in queue and get ready to come out with your questions for Danny Garcia and Errol Spence and their trainers.
Yeah, for any media that would like to ask a question, please hit the raise hand button, and then we'll come to you. Our first question is going to come from Eric Woodyard. Eric, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
What's up? How you doing, Earl?
What's up?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just for you, you talked about not wanting to tune-up fight and taking these risks, man. Do you feel like at this point in your career, you need these type of fights to continue to cement your legacy and take these risks? Because a lot of guys don't want to take these type of risks. So for you, like you say, jumping right out, what does that mean for you? Are you feeling that urgency to make these type of statements at this point in your career?
Definitely, man. It's up to me to make that big splash, especially coming from my car accident. Everybody expected me, to take a lesser opponent, but me taking a lesser opponent, that was back when I made my pro debut in my first 10 fights and things like that. Now I want to fight the top dogs in the division. I finally got to that spot where I could fight, the big names and the guys I've been yearning to fight for. So now the time is time that I'm not gonna, go backwards. I'm gonna just go forward and fight the top guys that I've been wanting to fight since I was like 14, 15 and 0. Since I won a title from Kell Brook.
All right, good luck, man.
All right, thanks, Eric. Our next question is going to come from Jamil Parker. Jamil, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, this is for Errol. Southpaws are aqua fighters. They normally hit with straight rights and left hooks. We all know that Danny Garcia possesses power in both. How will you negate that during the fight?
I watch the fight and tune in, or you gonna come buy a ticket. But I mean, we got a game plan for everything, so I'm not worried about no left hook or right hook or anything that he comes with.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Jamil. Our next question is going to come from Jake Donovan. Jake, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Great, thank you very much. My question is actually for Danny. Danny, a lot of people are, for some reason, they're making a big deal about the fact that you're getting this fight after Errol's accident, but you actually wanted this fight well before. I mean, you were in the ring when Errol beat Sean Porter. How much of it was you seeing something in Errol that you can exploit versus just you always want to challenge yourself against the best?
I after the Mikey fight and the Porter fight, I saw some holes in his game, and I felt like it's a good opportunity for me to become champion again. So, and he's a great champion. I'm a great champion, and I feel like these type of fights bring out the best in Danny Garcia. They make me run that extra mile. They make me spar that extra round. They make me eat the right meals, and they give me the extra motivation I need. And I feel like this is the type of fight that's going to bring out the best in me, and that's why I wanted it.
Great. Thank you so much, Danny. Best of luck. Errol, best of luck to you as well.
All right. Thanks, Jake. Our next question is going to come from Jandra LaBeouf. Jandra, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you. My first question is for Errol. When you're a fight fan as well as a fighter, when you look at a fighter like Danny, do you learn more from his wins or do you learn more about him from his losses?
I mean, you definitely learn more from the wins. I mean, like I said, he has a lot of great wins, like great victories, and I mean, you learn a lot from just different fights. Some losses and some wins. Maybe the Keith Sean Porter fight, where you learn from other fights in the past too, like him and Lamar Peterson and things like that. So, I mean, I don't really have to watch those fights because I'm a student of the game. I'm a fan of the sport. So that's all I do anyway, is watch boxing. So I didn't watch Danny Garcia fight plenty of time.
Okay, thank you. And Danny, a question for you. Angel mentioned earlier that he thought Mikey Garcia ran the whole fight against Spence. When you look at Spence in that fight, what do you think he was most effective at and what he did well in that fight?
I felt like he was the bigger, better man that night. I felt like, Mikey has great skill, but I think the size difference, and he just let his hands go, and Mikey didn't have an answer. So Mikey kind of froze. And he just won every round, just by letting his hands go. Mikey didn't take no risk, but Mikey did some good things in there. He held his ground well. He landed some good counter punches, and those are things that I'm taking into consideration, for this camp.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck to both of you.
Andrew, next question. Andrew, any more questions? What the heck did happen? Oh my God.
Well, why don't we go ahead and do that?
Sorry about that, guys. Ben Baby, our next question will come from you if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, for sure. Errol and Errol, can y'all hear me okay? Awesome.
Yes, we can. Fire away.
Awesome. Hey, Errol, quick question. I think all of us know about the accident, kind of what occurred. in some way, was that a real wake up call for you and kind of what, you needed to do in and out of the ring? I mean, how did that kind of affect you moving forward after you had the accident and everything that happened?
It really didn't do nothing, but just made me more focused, made me hungrier, gave me the same hunger that I had, before I won the world title. So it just made me more focused, more hungry, make sure I kept my weight down. And, basically before I was probably coming to camp, when it was just a training camp, I had a fight lined up. But now I'm actually, training year round and, making it a priority more than just, okay, I got to fight now. I got to start training. Now I'm training ahead of time instead of just waiting till the last minute.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Hello, Danny. Hello, Angel, Derek, and Errol. Hope you guys have all been well. I'm going to ask both Errol and Danny this question. And Danny, you could answer first. When you look at this matchup, honestly, why do you feel you can win this? What do you see there in your own game that will give you the decision or the knockout win in this fight? And that same question goes to Errol.
I feel like I'm a great fighter. I'm a great fighter. And, I've been in these type of fights before. These type of fights motivate me. I know what I'm built of. I know what I'm built of. As long as I give 100% in the gym and stay mentally and physically ready, I know no one can beat me. And when Danny Garcia is focused like that, I know he's a dangerous man. And I believe I can beat anybody in the sport.
Errol, can I get your thoughts as to why you think you will win this fight, or that something that you possess that you feel that Danny won't be able to handle the night of the fight?
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter if it's inside or outside. I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire and we gotta lock it up, I feel like I'm gonna come out on top because I know how to dig down deep and I know how to just fight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Marcos. Our next question is going to come from John Cudney. John, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, guys. So this is a question first for Errol and Derek. The country's been going through a long series of lockdowns. COVID-19 has been awful. Just wondering what it means to you guys to fight in front of a live crowd at Cowboy Stadium for this fight.
For me, it means everything. Just fighting at home, and everything that everybody's been going through right now. And I just wish everybody that's gonna come out, be safe, wear your mask, follow the social distancing protocols and things like that. And I feel like it'll be a smooth night.
For me, I think that it's great just to come home and fight at home and be at home and fight a great fighter like this. And put on a great performance is amazing, because I think that it only builds your legend, it only builds your stock, and to be able to perform at home in front of a live audience is very difficult to do. But at the same time, that's for other people who are difficult for them, because Errol's been able to perform and do well in front of the audience, and we love that. So we love the energy, we love everything that the city brings us, from people from all over the world to everybody in Dallas. We love the energy.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Those are great answers. Okay, questions for Danny and Angel. So I'm going to ask a cynical question, but I'm interested to hear your honest answer. So you guys had already agreed to this fight, as Jake mentioned earlier, but how are you approaching this now that Errol has been through the car accident? Does it give you potentially, extra confidence, or a different approach, knowing he might have lost some speed off his fastball?
Now we're taking this fight, he's a champion, so we're taking this fight 100% serious. We're not banking on no, car accident or layoff and all those type of things. We're taking this 100% serious. Like I said before, we wanted this fight on January 25th. But, things happened, then the COVID happened, so we just had to stay focused, and the world had to weather the COVID storm, and
all the crazy things that's going on in the world. But now the fight's finally here. You know, we're 3.5 weeks away, and you know, I feel like camp is going great, and we're gonna go in there and have a great performance.
Yeah, you got
Angel, any thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta understand. Like Danny said, it was for January when we for a red catch was supposed to be Spence, but then he got into a tragedy. But that's the past. So we're not looking at the accident because we're not doctors.
It was a tough fight, like what I expected. One of the toughest fighters that can take a punch, man. I had to be smart in there and dictate the pace and pick my shots. I controlled the fight. Basically, we managed to do what we set the plan out to do. Oh no, he's one of the toughest. Like I said, I could take a strong punch, and you know, he took everything and he gave some. I already said, you can't deny me anymore, man. You've put me, when you don't put me against one of the best fighters, you put me against some of the toughest. Chia was one of the toughest that could take punches. Now I want the world champs. I want a world title. I want any of the top guys. Don't deny me anymore. No, I won't. I'll be watching, but I won't run in there. Yeah, I think the work that I put in with my team, Robert Garcia and the entire Robert Garcia Boxing Academy has showed in every single fight. I get a little better, a little smarter, and you know, come out with W's. And you know, today I stopped one of the toughest fighters that, from what I've heard, has never been stopped before. You know, and you know, props to him. He stood in there, stood his ground, and never gave up. He took some hard punches, and you know, I think the referee made a good decision by stopping it. He could have stopped it a little earlier, but you know, either way, he stopped him and did the right thing.
I mean, it goes to show a lot. He's one of the toughest fighters that fought some big champions, bigger champions at 154. You know, and it goes to show a lot. Not only can I take some punches, but I can also give them and give some hard ones. And I feel like I've gotten stronger, smarter, faster. I've improved in every part of my game, thanks to Robert Garcia. Yeah, I do. I felt it, but you know, unfortunately, I have to go in there and you know, help finish the job. You know, but you know, it just goes to show the big heart that he has. I'm open to them that fight, but I don't need to work to get anywhere. I deserve to be fighting the best now. I've proved it. I'm fighting some of the toughest when I'm not fighting world champions. I'm fighting some of the hard-nosed fighters, and it goes to show. I want a world title fight. I'll take the winner or loser of tonight's fight. Any of the top dogs, I need to get in there with them. Not only, you know, am I just as good as them, I'm one of the most entertaining fighters there is right now in the welterweight division. Well, from what I felt in camp, from what I felt, you know, throughout these couple of years with Robert Garcia, I've improved, man. And I'm not a big mouth where I'm going to go and scream and yell that I'm bigger, better than ever, you know, but I show it. I come and show, and, you know, that's for one to decide. I feel great. And, you know, God willing, I'm showing it. I'm showing it in the ring against some of the toughest fighters. So, you know, now I need that world championship fight and to become a world champion. Definitely. I mean, I would love a world title fight. If it's not a world title fight, any of the top guys, you know, let's give the world some action. You know, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to entertain. I'm one of the most entertaining welterweights there is, and I just want to put on a show. You know, everybody likes my fighting style. I don't try to put on a show. I just fight.
Okay, we'll take a couple questions via Zoom. Kenyon Atchison, you can go ahead and unmute your mic and ask your question.
Great fight, Josecito. How did you feel like breaking them down to the body was going pay off dividends for you going into the 10th round like that?
You know, we worked our position. You know, we mixed it up a little bit. He is a dangerous puncher. He does have a heavy hand. You know, so we were a little cautious, maybe a little too cautious at times, but, you know, our game plan was to be smart, pick our spots, and, you know, break them down little by little. You know, it might have taken me a little longer than I thought it would have, but, you know, I finished the job.
All right. We'll take our last question for Josecito from Carlos Toro. Carlos, you can unmute your mic and ask the question.
Congratulations on the win, and apologies if this was asked before I couldn't hear the rest of the media asking questions. But when you knocked him down in the first round, were you surprised that you were able to get to the body and break him down that quickly, about 90 seconds into that first round? Did you think that maybe you could potentially have stopped him earlier?
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't surprised that I hurt him. I'm very strong. I feel it in my body. I wasn't surprised that I dropped him, but, you know, like I said, our game plan was to be cautious, be smart. You know, like I said earlier, it might have taken me a little longer than it should have, but, you know, I was smart against a tough fighter that's gritty, that can take punches and, you know, can give them.
All right. Thank you very much, Josecito. Congrats on the win.
All right. Thank you. It was a tough fight, like what I expected. One of the toughest fighters that
Like you said earlier this week, a sacrifice. All sacrifice. You wanted me to that mic? Is the mic right here? Okay. Can't hear them. Sebastian, congratulations, man. Thank you. This was a guy who went 6 rounds with Gilberto Ramirez when he was a champion, 14 pounds heavier than this division. You took him out in 2. Why was that, and what do you think that says about you tonight? Well, like I was telling you guys in the press conference, we were ready for everybody. We were ready for Cota if he would have came in safe, and we were ready for this guy too. Just like we covered all our bases, and a win like this doesn't surprise me because like I said, we were prepared. You seemed comfortable all week. You're fighting in front of 16,000 people, Cowboy Stadium. Why is that? I don't want to sound cocky, but I feel like I meant for this. You know, this is something I worked so hard for. We've been boxing since we were 8 years old, and me and my father always shared this dream, and we're finally here. So, having an audience like this, it just feels like normal. It's normal. You're rated in the top 5 now to fight for the WBA title. That's held the normal version by Lara, the super version by Charlo. What do you think of those fights right now, Sebastian? I have to talk to my team about that, but I'm more than happy to do it when the time comes. I know Jermel was ringside. Any message to send to him since he's the champ of the division? No message right now. Like I said, we got to talk to everybody first before we do something. Before we start calling out names, but hope he holds it. Hope we can meet up one day.
Hey, Sebastian.
How you doing?
Congratulations on a spectacular win. Let me ask you this. In terms of your progress, you personally, how do you feel? Do you feel that you've peaked, you're about to peak, you're not even close to peaking? Like, where do you gauge your growth at this point?
I don't think I'm peaking yet. I turned 23 this month. I still think I'm pretty young, so we have plenty of room to grow. This is only my 17th fight, so I plan to be in the sport for a long time, and I plan to be a champion, and we're not there yet, so we're definitely not at our peak yet.
Given that, I know world title opportunities, at times you got to take them. It looks like time is on your side, though. Like you said, you're very young. You're not even close to peaking. Have you had the thought in your mind that maybe I should just take my time? It'll come. It'll come, no doubt. But let me just take my time a little bit and let me develop a little bit more.
Yeah. It's that I feel like people ask me that question a lot, but it's not really my decision, at least in my team. I have to sit down and talk to my team about it, my promoter, my manager, my trainer. We all have to talk about stuff like that before I can just say something by myself. For me, this is a team sport.
And relatively, you didn't have a lot of time in there tonight, a lot of ring time. I would imagine you want to get right back in the ring.
Definitely. Just like last fight, I want to go right back into it. I want to start off next year strong and have a lot of fights too again, hopefully, and we'll see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's take a Zoom call now, please, and then over to you, Ali.
All right, thanks. We'll take our first Zoom question from Fago Franklin. Fago, you can unmute your mic and ask your question. Fago, if you're muted, please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
All right, we'll move on to Keenan Atchison. Keenan, you can ask your question.
Sebastian, when you caught him with the uppercut in the first round, did you realize at that very moment that he couldn't take your power?
Definitely. We saw him buckle a little bit, so I heard my father yell from the corner that he was already shooken. And I saw it too with my eyes. And from then on, I thought, I was like, this guy can't take the power, so I'm just going to walk right through him.
All right, we'll take our next question from Fago. If you can unmute yourself now, please ask your question.
What did you learn about yourself in this fight today?
Just to keep focused, I feel like with every fight we learn something, but this one was, I think, too fast to learn something. I think if anything, I learned everything through camp.
not to take that much of a long of a break and just keep working, because this is my job and I want to take it serious.
All right, great. Thank you, Sebastian. Congrats on the win.
Of course. Thank you.
Just a couple quick ones. I know we want to go see the main event. So first of all, what do you tell all your fans, people who love you? You have a huge following in Coachella.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a fan. I plan to continue putting on shows for you guys. And I guess to see you guys at the top.
All right, thank you.
It's good. Right on.
All right, thank you.
Jello Beats.
Okay, we have Danny Garcia. We're going to go ahead and ask the Zoom questions first and wait for the media. Come on in. Zoom, go ahead, Andrew.
All right. David Melandra, we'll take your question first. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Angel, go ahead.
I'm good.
David, if you're muted, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, Danny, what went wrong tonight in the fight, and what do you say to your fans here in Philadelphia?
You know, first of all, you know, he was just a better man tonight. I can't make no excuses. He had a good jab. I felt like I was doing a lot of good things, but you know, I fought as two champions, fought two true champions. So, what can I say? I'm still proud of myself, no matter what. I know I fought my heart out.
Is there anything you would have done differently tonight in this fight?
You know, you can ask Angel that question. He was on the outside looking in, so he could probably tell you more.
Yeah, he could have did more. He could have got busier. He could have did what he did at the end of the round right there on 12. He would have did that. He was just giving him too much respect. He heard him at one time. He didn't hurt him, like buckled him, but I could see he shook him a little bit. And he let him come back into the fight. So the only thing Danny did wrong today, he didn't get busy enough.
All right, media, as a reminder, if you have any questions for Danny via Zoom, please raise your hand. Our next question will come from Roberto Vinces. Roberto, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, this question's for Angel. Ángel, en español, nomás tu reacción nomás a la pelea. Acabas de decir que Danny no hizo el plan como se había hablado. Nomás tu reacción y describe esta pelea de esta noche, por favor.
Sí, no hizo el plan. El plan era estar más busy because en el pasado, that's what we went wrong at from the past. So we learned from the two laws that Danny had. Aprendimos de eso, era estar más ocupado. Y no lo hizo, pues entonces, tú sabes, that's why he didn't get the decision. Okay, un juez le dio 4 rounds nada más. So that was kind of bad.
Gracias.
All right, thank you. We'll take our next question via Zoom from Keenan Atchison. Keenan, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, Danny, did Spence surprise you that he was able to block away that right hook and you weren't able to catch him as flush as you normally are able to catch most of your opponents?
No, I knew what he was bringing to the table. You know, I think most of it was just me. I had to believe in it more. I had to throw it more. I felt like I threw it a lot. It just wasn't connecting. Maybe he was ready for it. But, yeah, I can't make no excuses, man. It is what it is. He got the decision, and what can we do? We can only get better from now.
All right, we'll take another question from David Melandra. David, if you have another question, please ask your question.
Hey, Danny, what do you say? What was it tonight that it seemed like you were not using your jab enough? What was it, the way he was defending you most of the night?
No, I just think he had a pretty good jab. It was rangy. It was throwing my timing off a little bit, and I think that was the key in the fight. His jab, but that's pretty much it. Everything else, I was adapted to it. I knew he was going to go to the body. I knew he was going to throw those looping left hands. But his jab was a little better than I expected.
All right, thank you, David. If we have any other question, here we go. Mark Wicker, we'll go ahead and you can unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Danny, you fought Porter, Thurman, and now Spence. What separates Spence from the other two guys?
You know, I feel like they're all kind of on the same level. He just, I think he has a better jab and he's stronger than all three of them. Physically stronger than all three of them. But I feel like they all have different type of strengths. But I think he may be the strongest one out of all three of them.
All right, thank you, Mark. We'll take our next question from Ben Baby. Ben, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, Danny, I mean, throughout that fight, is there something how surprised were you with the shape and condition he was in? And did you think that you'd see maybe more rust than you saw tonight out of Spence, given the layoff and the accident?
He was in shape. He was in shape. I was in good shape. But like I said before, I think we were both in great shape. I just feel like the key to the fight was his jab. He took his jab away. If I would have took his jab a little bit more, I feel like I would have been more successful. And that was that's pretty much it. I think that was the key to the fight, his jab. Other than that, I feel like everything else, I knew what he was going to do. We had a great game plan. I should have been busier, but it's easy to say. And, we were trying to land that right hand over the side, but, I landed it a few times, but he took it well. I hit him to the body pretty good. Sometimes he took it well. What can I say, man? He's a true champion. I'm a true champion. We fought hard for 12 rounds. And the judges gave it to him. He was a better man. I can't make no excuses. I'm a true champion. It's all good.
All right. Thank you, Ben. We'll take our next question from Fago Franklin. Fago, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Despite the pandemic, what does it mean to you that you came out here and gave your fans a good fight tonight?
It means a lot. It's crazy times right now in the world. And, it's a crazy time for sports. And, I'm blessed enough to, me and Errol Spence are blessed enough to even fight a pay-per-view fight, a big fight, this fight, with these times going on in the world. So, it's a blessing to the fighters and the fans. And it's a blessing for everyone to give someone to do it. There's a lot of people who flew out here from all around the country. They're on lockdown, so they want to come out here and have a good time. And we gave them a good show.
All right, thank you, Fago. We'll kick it back to questions from inside AT&T Stadium.
Questions for both Danny and Angel. First off, with Angel, what did you make overall of how the fight unfolded, and what do you think was the key for Errol to get the decision in terms of adjustments you guys couldn't make in there?
Well, it was up to Danny. He had to let his hands go. You can't force it. You can tell them what to do. Doesn't mean they're going to do it. You can have a plan. It means Danny should have got busier. We learned, like I said before, that was the pass he brought him back. That was happening in the other fight. He wasn't busy enough. That's the only thing he did. He took the shots well. He dipped and slipped, but he didn't counter. If he would have did a little more countering when he was dipping and slipping, that was the game plan. He took shots well. He gave him back. He hurt one time. I thought he hurt Spence a little bit. In one round, he didn't drop enough, but he hurt him. I seen him buck a little bit. But then he let him get back into the fight. And then Spence was stealing the rounds too. He would get busy at like a minute into the fight. And, a minute left on the fight, on the rounds. What he could have did better was that, get busier. But it's all about punching, man. It's about landing. It's not about looking pretty, slipping and dipping. You got to counter that. You can't slip and dip, don't counter. The judges don't give you points for that. You win round by landing. You have to land punching. And that's what Danny did tonight. He didn't land enough. If he would have did what he did in the 12, the last round, the last couple seconds of the last round, that was the fight he was supposed to give him. You see how he held, he was strong, but he just didn't let his hands go.
Danny, what was so tricky about Errol's jab?
It was, he has good reach. It's a strong jab, and it has good timing, and he knows when to throw it. He knows when to step to you. So I think that was the key to the fight, to be honest. He had a good jab. He used it well. I was trying to get around it to land some body shots, try to use my own jab. And
he was getting around it.
Yeah,
you just had a counter. You did well. He didn't hit you with jabs like that.
No, I'm just saying.
You're making it say he killed you with a jab.
No, I'm just saying that was the key.
He didn't kill you with that jab. You just didn't counter the jab. You seen everything. You seen everything, man. Stop saying it.
Next question.
Oh, okay. Danny, you said it earlier. It's so much easier said than done. But why aren't you able to get the punch numbers up and let the left hook go tonight? Why is that?
I just can't get it off. You know, I tried. Like I said before, I tried. He did a good job of taking it away. And but I think the key to this fight was the right hand. The key was the right hand. We know that everyone's looking for the left hook, and the key was the right hand. We tried to land the right hand. I felt we landed some good right hands too, and some good body shots. So the body shots was pretty good. The right hands was pretty good. And like I said before, it was just, you know, that's when two champions fight. You know, one guy's going to be better that night. Tonight, he just outpointed me. Can't make no excuses. I hold my head high no matter what. I'm proud of myself. I came a long way, and I will be back. So it's nothing really to cry about. It's nothing to be sad about. You know, I fought a champion. I beat champions. Champions beat me, and that's the name of the sport. So I'm not gonna cry about it, and I'll just be back stronger. That's it. What can I do? You know, I'm still proud. You know, I came a long way. So it is what it is.
You guys should be proud. It was one of the best fights I've seen in years, Danny. You have a great chin, first of all, maybe the best in boxing. How close did you get to landing that hook? Because some of them were like half an inch away.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like if I would have set it up better, like with a right hand to the body, or even a straight right hand left hook, I felt like the hook would have landed, or maybe a body shot left hook. But like I said before, we didn't really focus on, we knew the hook was going to be there. We were more focused on that right hand because we know everyone's so used to it. And I landed it a few times, but he took it well. And I landed to the body a few times. He took it well. So, you know, it is what it is.
This question's for both Angel and Danny. Angel first. Do you think maybe right now is the right time for Danny to maybe dip his toes at 154? I know you guys have talked about that in the past. That's something that you guys maybe like to try out. Do you think this is the time now, or do you want to stay at 47 still?
I mean, we go to 54, but the weight's not the problem. You still got to sacrifice, because if you go to 54, you're walking around 190 pounds. So it's just, then they're going to have to sacrifice. You're always going to have to sacrifice weight. The business comes with the business. It's part of their job to sacrifice. 54 would have made it. He didn't do nothing wrong today. He just wasn't busy enough. You know, like he lost, yes, but it was because he chose to do that. It's not because Spence really whooped his ass and all. Like, I ain't seen no whooping there. I mean, a little bumpy in there. That comes with the package. You're always gonna get bruised. He light skinned. You're gonna see it more than anybody else. But he's not like where Spence whooped his ass. And I mean, he never hit the camper. He took the shots well, like I said. I mean, he just got to get busy. You only win fights by landing. You don't win fights by nothing else. And that was the only problem he had tonight. He just didn't let his hands go, but not like he was supposed to. Because a lot of times when you're in the pocket, you dipping and slipping. I mean, you seeing everything. So you make him pay. He was slip under like that right there to the liver. When you dip back to the right hand on this side, you know, that's what counts. That's what he did wrong. That's the only thing. It wasn't the way. He didn't look weak in there. And if he would have threw, like I said, the last 30 seconds of the 12th round, that's Danny Garcia right there. That was a little too late to try afterwards. But I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed at him. But I'm not mad. Now I was pissed when we lost to fucking Keith Thurman. I was ramming. But not that I'm saying I'm gonna accept the L, because I'm never gonna accept the L. But what you do, you move on. That's it.
You know, we came to his hometown, you know, and we fought a champion in his hometown. So even if it was close, I probably still wouldn't have got it anyway. So I probably would have knocked him out. But it is what it is. No excuses. Like I said before, I'm always gonna be proud of myself because I know I can always come back stronger.
All right. Thank you, guys.
about Errol's jab.
Why he just didn't let his hands go.
Okay, we're going to go with the Zoom questions first and then in the room. Andrew, take it away.
All right, thanks, Kelly. We'll start with Ben Baby. Ben Baby, you can unmute yourself and ask away.
Errol, Danny said that he thought the jab controlled the fight tonight. What made that so effective, and did you expect that to be as successful as it was throughout the evening?
It was just, just common sense, basically. I mean, I was the taller person. He had the shorter arms, and I always had a great jab. So, so that's what we was working on. Working on using the jab, setting everything up with the jab, and basically just outpointing him. I think I did well using my jab.
Is there everyone was wondering how you were going
to be really proud of me? I think Lennox Lewis would be really proud of me using my jab like the way I did.
Right. I think a lot of folks were wondering how you were going to take a punch after the accident. Is there one tonight that maybe you were proud of how well you were able to respond?
No, because I had a 10, 12 week training camp where I was sparring. So, I mean, I was taking the punches in sparring, so I wasn't surprised. I was taking a punch in a fight because it was something that I've been taking, so I wasn't surprised at all. And I always had a great chin.
All right, we'll take our next question from Jeremy Harridges. Jeremy, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, Errol. Congratulations on your victory. How would you appraise your performance? How would you rate yourself?
I give myself a B. I think I had a little bit of ring rust in there, but I think I was just in such great shape and had a great training camp and took everything serious where I can overwhelm. I can just not be discouraged by me having ring rust and things like that. So I feel like just working my jab and using my angles and boxing was the best move, and that's what I basically did.
As far as your performance in this fight and as far as what you see moving forward for the future, obviously everyone's talking about Terrence Crawford. Is that a legitimate chance of happening, or do you guys feel like you're miles and miles apart?
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about, seeing my kids tomorrow and chilling on my ranch and finally riding my horses after 10, 12 weeks and, just chilling out and eating some good food. So we'll see what holds in the future. But right now, just to enjoy myself. I had a long year and a half, to come back and, work hard, train hard, and just was 120% focused. And I'm going to wind down for like a week or two till I get back on the ball.
All right. As a reminder to media on the Zoom, please raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question. We'll take our next question from Keenan Atchison. Keenan, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Keenan?
Yes, please ask your question, Keenan.
Keenan?
All right, we'll move on to Mark Wicker. Mark, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Errol, what was the sensation like walking in tonight? You seemed like you had a smile on your face. I'm sure it was probably had to be a little bit emotional after such a long time and everything that happened. How excited were you when you made that walk into the ring?
Oh, I was super excited. I mean, this is my home. This
was a lifelong dream of mine, just, be a household name in Dallas, and now I'm a household name. And, I was just thankful to have, fans here and family here, and, everybody support me. And I was smiling because it was a long, long road to come back. And it was a lot of, sacrifice and, just, buckling down and staying focused and, trials and tribulations to get to this point, to tonight. And I got to that point and, it paid off. So, like they say, everything happened for a reason. And I feel like, I'm here for a reason. And, I basically proved that, I'm back and I'm here to stay. And I'm the unified champion of the world.
And also, how did that first round feel? I mean, you were sharp. It didn't look like you. I mean, it looked like you had kind of taken up where you left off. And did that feel any different than any other first round you usually fight?
No, it was just, like I said, I've been training. I've been in the gym for probably March. I've been in the gym since March, late March. And, we just been working and training hard and just, being 100% focused. So I was just, this training camp, I was just in the gym 24/7. I dedicated, basically everything just to come back and get back. And I knew I had to be just focused and go back to what I used to do and being in the gym all the time and being actually a gym rat and not just going to training camp when I got a fight coming up and actually just being there and being ready. When I got that call. So, this training camp was a little bit different. It was like back in the day where I was already, I didn't have to lose 30, 40 pounds. I was actually in training camp, training for strategy and things like that instead of, trying to lose weight and going to the gym knowing I got to lose, this amount of weight. I was actually, already on weight and just, focus on strategy.
All right. Thanks, Mark. We'll take our next question from David Melandra. David, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, Errol, congratulations on your victory. At any point in the fight tonight, did any of Danny's punches hurt you at all? Feel like you're in jeopardy of potentially losing this fight?
No, I didn't. I felt some of his punches, but they wasn't hard enough to hurt me or, to wobble me or discourage me, or it wasn't really nothing like, man, like this dude can really punch. He was more strong than anything. So, but I give him all this kudos, great fighter, iron chin, came to fight. And, I think, he basically, tried to take my title and, I defended it well at home. So much respect to him for just giving me his opportunity and accepting the fight and coming to Dallas and fighting me.
All right, thanks, Errol. We'll kick it back to questions inside AT&T Stadium.
Errol, congratulations. I know it was a long road to get back to this point. What was going on through your mind when you were walking through the little area to go to the ring?
Basically, it was just like what my shirt says. It says I'm back. And it was just more of a grateful moment for myself. Like, man, all this hard work, from this year and a half, led me to this point. So, basically it was just, man, like you worked hard to get to this point. You deserve to be here. Now it's time to put on a show. Let's go. So I wasn't nervous at all after being a year and a half off. I wasn't nervous at all coming and walking here. It was more of, man, like, this is my home. This is where I belong. Let's go. Definitely. I mean, I feel like, that's why they say a lot of boxers stay too long, because this is like a drug does. This is like a high does. So, when people are cheering for you and, the crowd, basically praising you, that's like a high. And that's why a lot of boxers, come back. Like Sugar Ray Leonard, he came back, he didn't need the money. He came back to fight because he was chasing something. He was chasing that high that, basically, people still cheering his name and being a champion and saying, like even the Hector Camacho documentary was like, man, it's nothing like when people say and new, so I just, getting that again and just, hearing people and still and, they putting the belts around me and things like that, that meant a lot. And it's just, I'm glad my hard work and basically my dedication and my path to get back, ended with, me defending my titles and, putting the belts around my waist again and doing it in my hometown in front of all my fans.
Errol, did you feel that you hurt him at some point in the fight, particularly to the body?
Yeah, I think I hurt him a little bit, but Danny Garcia is very tough, very gritty, iron chin, iron body, and he's not gonna, basically, cower down to anybody. So I think I hurt him a little bit, but he's gonna fight regardless.
It was to the body you felt you hurt him more, or?
Yeah, I think I hurt him a couple times to the body, and I hit him in the chin and hurt him a little bit too. But he just, he's a real fighter, man. So he's not gonna go down easy.
Did you feel toward the end of the fight he was just trying to make it the 12 rounds and he wasn't gonna open up against you?
I think he got discouraged a little bit. In the fight, and he kind of stopped his assault because he wasn't really landing that many punches. I was blocking him, picking him off, slipping him. So I think he was getting kind of frustrated.
Errol, great performance. I know you already talked about getting back to the ranch, very understandable. But what did you think of Terrence showing up ringside? Do you think that helps build some buzz to make it a big fight?
No. I mean, he gotta live up to his words. If he say he's not worried about me, then I don't know why he doing what he was doing here. I probably wouldn't go to none of his fights. So I'm not worried about Terrence Crawford. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy my time with my kids and chill out and just reflect on this year and a half that, I came back and, we're going to move on in the summertime and see who I fight. So we'll see. I got to talk to my manager, Al Heyman, and we'll go from there.
Derek, you're the only coach in boxing that has 2 unified champions. You trainer of the year this year? It's almost over.
Hey, man, they'll find somebody to jump in front of me. They'll try to, but they really can't do it this time, I don't think, because of the circumstances. But, you never know. They'll find somebody.
And Earl, this proves tonight that you're very popular. Over 16,000 fans in a pandemic. They put, I don't know if you noticed during the fight, they put Crawford on the big screen. He got booed.
Well, that's what they were booing. I didn't know what they were booing.
Yeah, that's what they were booing. Okay. So what does it say? Do you have this big fan base here? You and Canelo, 120,000?
Like I said, I'm not worried about anybody right now. I'm gonna enjoy my time with my family, chill out, and maybe buy a couple horses and goats and cows and chickens and things like that. But right now I'm just gonna chill out, man. Enjoy this a little bit of a layoff. It was a hard year and a half for me, coming back, and I need to rest a little bit and not really think about boxing for like a week and then jump back on the ball. But I'm not gonna get out of shape, not gonna get too fat. I'm gonna keep working and stay in the gym.
Derek, question over here. Could you go into a little bit about the plan tonight for Danny and how crucial the jab ended up being?
Well, I always say the jab is the easiest punch to throw, the fastest punch you can throw, and the hardest punch to block. And you can see it tonight that it gave him a lot of issues. And he uses jab for the distance. He uses jab just to constantly keep him occupied. And he set him up with a lot of times with the jab. So he used it for several reasons. And then it was beautiful, man. It worked.
Derek, in an ideal world, you being Errol's trainer, how quickly would you want to see him back? And what, what more do you want to see out of him? He said he gave himself a B. Would you give him that rating too, or do you think he performed pretty well here tonight?
No, man, I give him an A+ just because he was able to be consistent. And I think that it's very difficult because that's what Danny Garcia's strength is in the complacency of the fighters. The fighters get comfortable, they get complacent, and he catches them with a good shot. So myself, I would give him an A only because of the fact that his level of consistency. I didn't like when he was kind of dropping his hands a little bit, and I kind of told him. But at the same time, I mean, that's when he's at his strength because people get comfortable. And, you know, I think that I don't necessarily, you know, that's not my thing to say whenever I want him back in the ring. I just want him back in the gym in a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. But other than that, I mean, that's not my deal, man. I mean, I think that he needs to rest. He needs to get the everything is in. He's gonna be sore as heck tomorrow, man. Muscles and sore. He's gonna need to listen. The masseuse says she wanted to see him too, but he's gonna need a massage, a hot whatever. But I think that, you know, maybe in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he'll be back in the gym and just keep it rolling, man.
Hey, Errol, I think it was toward the end of the 11th round. You looked down at the canvas. I couldn't really see what happened. Did you lose your mouthpiece? Is that what you were looking down at or what?
Oh, yeah. I lost my mouthpiece.
And we have one more question on Zoom from Calvin Watkins with the Dallas Morning News. Calvin, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please ask your question.
Earl, at what point during this fight did you feel like you were the stronger guy? Did you know that coming in, or as the fight was progressing, did you feel like, oh, I'm the bigger guy, I'm the stronger guy? I could just feel it as the fight was going.
I kind of knew that I was the stronger guy just because, you know, I'm stronger than a lot of people, you know. You know, even though, you know, people say I might be skinny or whatever, I'm just naturally strong. People I spar, you know, light heavyweights, and things like that, and push them around. So, you know, I just felt like I was a strong guy, and especially him, you know, fighting at 140 before and things like that. And I was already bigger than him. I felt like I was bigger than him. I'm taller than him. My arms are longer than his. So, you know, I just felt like, you know, he couldn't do nothing with me. We were fighting on the inside and the outside. So I just felt that, you know, I held all the advantages. And, you know, before this fight, just watch him fight throughout the years and, you know, watching my fight, I just felt I had a better arsenal than him. I'm done.